on the internets. We are live. It's 5 o'clock. Maybe you're catching us on your commute. We are only doing one interview tonight, so a little update because our other interview had something come up, but we have him rescheduled for Sunday. Oh no, I just turned this monitor off. Yeah, that's all right. It's just the button. All right, and so we're gonna have our double shot's now going to be Sunday. We'll have Drake Braddock and Tad Jarvis on. So, our guest is here. Let's make sure. Yeah, the shot looks good.
Hello.
It's very sunny, if you can tell by my background. So, we're waiting for the sun to go down. I need to buy curtains. Anyways, let's do a show. Hit the video record. If you want to ask questions during the show, please feel free. I don't know if anybody's tuning in right at rush hour o'clock, but
anyway,
I heard something.
It's probably a CIA mic in the place.
There's plenty of microphones. I've provided my own microphones for them to have.
But they probably mic'd your microphones. That's what they do.
Oh, they mic'd my microphones?
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying that we're double mic'd?
Oh, yeah. Maybe even triple. Who knows?
Oh.
The Russians are micing the CIA. The CIA is micing you. It's anarchy.
All right. So. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Yo. That title works. Good to go. Not the tech show. Get that out of my head.
I mean, we can talk tech. I have
a whole side.
Sure.
There was this somebody pitched, let's do a podcast where just the wrestlers come on and not talk about wrestling.
I'm totally down
just
for that.
Just talk about whatever else, which is kind of what last night's show was. It was more about dog updates.
I mean, I care about those doggy updates, so that's much appreciated.
A pup date, if you will.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. It's not mine. All right. I'm going to pull this up and make sure I'm not going to blow myself out audio-wise. There we go. All right. Hey, guys. Hey guys, welcome to the Indy Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorgat, Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. This is the show we talk with people in and around independent professional wrestling and have for such a long time that I decided to stop numbering it. So I don't know how long at this point. But you can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, IndyWrestling.us. Past episodes of this, a lot of great interviews over the years, including some guy that has probably had a cage match by now, Wardlow, Shane Taylor, and guys that have had different names. So you might have to look all those up, like Walking Wild and guys like that. But we like to get a lot of people all over the spectrum of their careers in indie wrestling, and today is no different. Check out other podcasts over at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, talking about other aspects of pro wrestling. There's a lot of great guests on there as well, and you can also drop a line, IndyWrestling.us. A lot of people we talk with are featured there, either current matches or the history of on the YouTube page or on the Indie Wrestling Network or all around. So with us today, again, we like to get some people like early in their career. We talked with Britt Baker after like 2 matches. So we're in that category today. We'll see where he's at in like the next 3 years and what doctorate he has. But that could be an interesting answer. But Miles Monroe, the conspiracy,
hello,
is with us today. He's got a hand sign and everywhere. There you go.
All-seeing eye.
All-seeing eye. There you go. Miles, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So first of all, you're a baby in the wrestling.
I'm 30.
You're a baby in the wrestling world.
Baby.
Yeah, you're a baby, quote, baby in the wrestling world. And I've seen you in a whole 3 matches, I think, including a Rumble. So we're moving up here.
Yeah, that Rumble.
There was a Rumble, yes. So tell me, first, what was your earliest memory of wrestling?
Oh, man, that's kind of hard to remember.
Just whatever comes to mind.
First one that comes to mind was Stone Cold and Booker T in the grocery store, but I know I've been watching wrestling before that. But that's when anybody brings up first memory, that's always the one that pops to my head.
Okay.
Because it's just maybe the greatest moment of wrestling history. Just saying.
And it happened in a grocery store.
Exactly.
That's the moment that captivated you in wrestling.
Oh yeah, definitely is what locked me in.
So what were you watching then? Like it was just, I guess this would be the ruthless aggression, invasion kind of.
Like
era.
I said, I started before. I definitely remember the like Attitude Era, but that's like like when you ask me like what I remember, that's definitely like the earliest memory.
So how did you transition from like, you know, at what point were you like, I think I want to get into the ring?
Okay, so I actually kind of stopped watching wrestling. I know it's bad words to say.
What?
But I stopped watching wrestling around high school and kind of just fell out of it. He was more into like music and stuff like that. And then a few years ago, my friend was like, no, watch wrestling. It's good. And I was like skeptical. And then he showed me a few shows, or a few matches actually. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be a wrestler. And he goes, do you mean like watch wrestling? I was like, no. I'm just going to be a wrestler. That's what I'm doing now. So I got a hold of Palace and LaRusso and started training.
So you've been kind of, you were aware of the independent scene and
Yeah.
you'd already been kind of in the loop.
Vaguely, yeah. I went to like a few shows and then just went from there.
So talk to me a little bit about, you know, did you know much background? Like, were you aware of like what training was going to be like and what all goes into it these days?
No, I actually freaked myself out because I watched this really great documentary, which if you haven't seen it, I recommend it, called Gaia Girls, which is about women's Joshi wrestling and training. And that is the most intense thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Like a girl gets drop kicked in the face and she apologizes.
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's intense. It's like from the 90s. It's really, so I'm like psyching myself out. I'm like, I'm going to be doing 400,000 squats every day. I'm going to get punched in the face. And it's just slightly less than that.
So yeah, because we've had, you know, you're aware of Super Hentai, of course, in the circles, and he had that Japanese training, and the Gambinos have gone over there. So like they're aware of that. Like they and both of them have trained since then, and they probably bring in a lot into their sessions. Maybe not your current trainers, but with Palace and LaRusso. But I mean, they've been around. So it wasn't. You were expecting more of a punch in the face.
Yeah, I mean, it was still intense. Like, don't go into this thinking it's gonna be like a cakewalk, but it wasn't, like I said, getting drop kicked in the face and getting your nose broken. Intense.
So tell me a little bit about that development. Like, so you have the one thing I always love, you know, the kids I see come out of LaRusso and Palace's classes. I've been amazed. I've said this multiple times on the show through the interviews, like the colorful nature of the characters that come out of there, it seems.
I'm just as straight laced as it comes. I'm just a normal guy doing normal things.
So tell me who is the conspiracy? Who is Miles Monroe?
Conspiracy Miles Monroe, just someone who's trying to get the truth out to the masses that we're all being lied to, and that wrestling is really run by the evil reptilian government.
The reptilian government.
Yeah.
So is there a lot of kind of where do you find your inspirations for what we're seeing out there?
My life.
This is just you.
It's just me all the time. Getting abducted by aliens.
Okay.
Being confused. It's my life.
So I mean, early on, let's see, you're a couple matches in. So tell us a little bit about your experiences so far.
It's been interesting. I've been trying to go out and have a match every weekend. Thankfully, I've been lucky having them. It's interesting just seeing how wide and vast like the network of independent wrestling is, and like you meet someone and kind of just like instantly have that connection. You know, like, hey, we're both into this really weird thing. Let's go fight each other.
So has that translated well? Have you seen a lot of reaction from the fans when you get out there?
Oh yeah, there's definitely like some what's going on here. Okay, he's weird. I can get in behind the weirdness.
All right. I knew this was and I'm glad that my wife got to meet you up in Erie. Because one of your moves that kind of caught my attention was one called the Scully Driver.
Yeah.
Off of obviously X-Files.
Oh yeah.
So, So tell me a little bit about you've had a few matches out there. You've been around a little bit. I mean, like, you're popping up at obviously IWC. It's like your home promotion. Yeah. Prospect Wrestling. I saw you in Eclipse for a minute. I've seen you hanging out in a Black Diamond and Revenge as well. So like, what are you kind of learning? What are your early lessons getting into wrestling here? Your first few months in.
Always. You're always going to get what you put into it. Mm-hmm. You know, like if I'm going out every weekend, I'm seeing, people are giving me the chance, and it's because I'm putting that effort into it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What were your biggest surprises from training? Obviously, you kind of had something going into it, like an idea, the hardcore idea of it. But like, what was the biggest surprise that you're just like, you didn't see that coming as part of this?
What I was capable of, honestly, like like I said at the top, I'm 30. I wasn't expecting to be able to move the way I can, be able to jump over people, be able to climb up the ropes easy. Like it's that's the main thing that surprised me was what I am capable of, and what, my trainers were, they're not going to accept me being like, I don't think I can do it. They want me to at least try it. It
was good motivation.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you think that you were going to be like kind of a lesser wrestler going into it than you managed to be?
Yeah, I thought I want to do it. I want to see as far as I can go, but I didn't think I was going to go very far. But after training, I think if I definitely want to keep doing it for as long as I can. And I think,
was there any kind of key moment, like pulling off a move, pulling off something as you were trying to learn that kind of seemed like was kind of the okay, I think I can go with this?
Not really a move I can think of. Mostly it was just like all the travel. Like, because I was going out places even before I was, wrestling. I was going out just a couple places, and I don't know. It reminded me of, like I said, I was involved in music and stuff, and I'd travel around a lot for that.
Okay.
And I realized there's a lot of
interconnected
overlapness, and I realized like if I keep that mentality, that punk DIY mentality into this, like I am gonna have that.
So I'm curious. I didn't know much about your band background here. So how did that kind of prepare you for this?
Like I said, so I didn't really do. I was only in like a couple bands. Most of my stuff in music, or involved in music, was I owned a record label, I owned a music venue, and I owned a record store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of, but the main thing was, like I said, that DIY mentality. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I just thought wrestling was cool, so I became a wrestler because that's the way I grew up. Is if you want to do something, you just learn to do it.
Yeah.
But like with the band stuff, like I said, traveling, like wrestling and music both. Like you're trying to always be on the road. You're trying to get these reps and become better at your craft to eventually get on to bigger and bigger things.
So. I gotta unpack a lot there because there's a lot going. So you had a label, a record store, and a band,
and a venue,
and a venue.
I co-ran the record store and the venue.
So is this locally here in Pittsburgh?
No, I'm originally from Springfield, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a place called the Black Sheep Cafe, which actually just closed a few years ago. It was real sad. They closed after I left. They were open for like 12, 13 years. That place will always be my home. Then the record store is called Dumb Records. It's still running today, which is great. Like I love seeing Brian and all those guys still keeping that place going.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, then the record label was Sparrow and Crow Records. I didn't last too long on that because that was the biggest headache of my life.
The business side of it.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, other than like the traveling and everything, wrestling, they always say that the wrestlers themselves, like your brand, your things like that. Mm-hmm. So is that lending to kind of that persona, or at least like what we see online?
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of like my online persona it's just an extension of what I was doing before, but now instead of here's some like weird music that I'm making in my room, it's hey, here's me suplexing a guy.
And you kind of have a target for that versus just like music, right?
Yeah. I mean, I there's a lot of overlap. A lot of people that are involved into like the punk scene are also really into wrestling. So there's a lot of, like, actually, like the singer of my old band is a worker in Illinois. So
really,
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of whenever you see a wrestling themed band, it seems to be punk.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
Yep. Yeah, I always like to check out Table Drama. They're not a band anymore, but there were some great wrestling themed power violence.
That's awesome. So far, what is the best and the worst thing about wrestling for you so far in your young career?
I mean, the best thing is just going out and doing it, like having that time where you go out into the ring and you just kind of tap into who you are and just you get that crowd reaction. Worst honestly is like that 5 minutes before, like that anxiety hits you in the stomach and you're just like, I know how to wrestle. I think I remember there's a thing called a wrist lock, right? That's a thing, but then as soon as my music hits, I know what I'm doing.
I remember that from when I was doing music. It seemed like 5 minutes before you're like, am I going to remember all the words?
Oh yeah. I would like hold my bass in my hand, like,
but you get going, you take that first step, you strum the first chord, you say the first line, and everything kind of
melts
rolls.
away.
Yeah, it melts away. You're in the process, and that's kind of the same in wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's the stage fright that happens before, but then when I'm actually on the stage or in the ring, it's gone. It's like like they're here to be entertained. I'm here to entertain. Let's do it.
So long ways out, where are you kind of seeing yourself? What are your kind of long-term goals here, other than getting signed by somewhere or something? The immediate future.
I don't really have a goal to be signed by anyone. Actually, like my goal is to just continue what I'm doing, traveling. I want to eventually, be traveling internationally. That's like my goal. At the end of the day, if I can say, went to Japan, I went to England, went to Mexico, went to, all these places. That's a good run.
Kind of the idea to be like, I got to go to a different country because people wanted me here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. So, of course, you're in several promotions. I've seen you in like 3 of them so far. Yeah. 3 or 4 of them. Generally, where are you popping up, and where do you see going in the next couple of months here that you're working on?
Main places to always see me at IWC, 2PW. I'll be there later at the end of this month. That's February, depending on when this gets out.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my two main places. I'm also, like you said, Eclipse. I'm trying to get out more towards Ohio area,
West
Indiana.
Virginia. I know you're in.
Yeah, West Virginia, Black Diamond. Yeah, hopefully my goal for the immediate future is I want to try and get out back to Illinois, where I'm from, wrestle out there,
I noticed you've been investigating some of your opponents.
Oh, yeah. Always got to do research.
There was a fascinating a video that came out where you were trying to find information on Zeke Mercer.
Yeah, and I still have nothing on him. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Getting a little angry here. Yeah. He doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist.
Only thing I know is he apparently has a height now, which I'm dubious on at best.
So
he wrestles.
And he wrestles.
I can't find nothing. He's just in the wind.
Just in the wind. Not on the dark web. Not on
the dark web. And don't go on the dark web. You get some weird stuff there.
Yeah, if Zeke was on a dark web, I think that'd be a problem there.
I may have hired a hitman against him though.
Oh, like by accident?
Yeah. I should look into that.
Right. So where can people catch up with Miles and where you're going to be?
Just like social medias and stuff?
Yes.
Best places, Instagram and Twitter, both same handle, Hackhaxa, HACKHAXA. And then just Facebook, Miles Monroe.
There you go.
Or Illuminati Wrestling is the Facebook. I always forget that one.
Illuminati Wrestling.
Illuminati Wrestling.
That sounds like that should be a wrestling promotion.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
No, I am not. I am 100% not working on a promotion. I don't want that headache.
Hey, maybe somebody else will run it. Maybe
Go
somebody
for
else
it.
is. Maybe somebody else is really running it.
Yeah, the reptiles. What do you think IWC really stands for? Illuminati Wrestling Confirmed. Just saying.
That explains
Everything.
so much. So much. Thank you, Miles, for joining us here. Everybody, go check him out. Like I said, this is one of the guys on the come up here in the Pittsburgh area, and even more. So please go check him out. You can see him in action, of course, over on IndieWrestling.us on a couple of shows right now on the network and DVD, VOD.
Yeah, you got that match with Isaiah Wolf on there, right?
That's Isaiah Wolf's on there. So and of course whatever else is coming up in our partner promotions too. So go check that out. Thanks a lot, everybody, joining us live. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Indie Mayhem Show on your favorite podcast app, or you can subscribe to the Wrestling Mayhem Show super feed so you can get this and all the wrestling related content that we're producing here at Circuitron Media, Indie Wrestling US, Wrestling Mayhem Show. Thank you guys so much, and until then, please support indie wrestling and watch out for the reptile people. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Like I said, that's it. All we have for today. But we will be streaming again, well, I guess next Monday. No, Sunday, actually, we'll be streaming again, so watch out for that, and we'll see you guys then.